My husband's hot wife fantasy for me has ended in regret, shame, and now worry that my marriage is in trouble. How do we start to navigate this? A few years ago, my 38F husband 37M began wanting to explore more fantasizing and roleplay in the bedroom. We have 2 young kids and have been together since college, so things probably weren't amazing, but I was never unhappy with our sex life. We had an amazing time reigniting our sex life and felt like we were regaining some of the fun and passion we'd let slip over time. This led to him opening up more about specific fantasies like sharing me, which first started with him wanting to share sexy pics of me on Reddit. I didn't like the idea but was willing to indulge if everything was anonymous and no face. He loved doing this and seeing the comments from other men, I guess, reinforcing that he was a lucky man. And the positive feedback and compliments for sure gave me a nice confidence boost. Then he confessed his fantasies progressed to opening up our marriage in real life and having me become a hot wife. I was totally caught off guard and was not interested at all. I loved him and our marriage. I never wanted to be with another man and I was very happy with us. He explained it wasn't about that and he just wanted me to see how sexy I was and to see me be pleased in every way possible. I thought he was crazy but we continued to talk about it. We had a lot of conversations about what he liked about this fantasy and hypotheticals about the repercussions of actually doing something like that. It seemed like a recipe for disaster too. However, I was willing to indulge in the fantasy of the hot wife topic with roleplay and toys and things like that. But his craving for this to actually happen in real life only got worse. And I guess I didn't realize it, but I slowly began convincing myself that I maybe could want this too if it meant that I was going to make him happy and give us this incredible sex life. It felt like if I didn't at least explore this, I wasn't pleasing the man that I so desperately want to make happy. He started posting more to Reddit, some I knew about, some I didn't, and talking to different men. I started chatting with some of them to see if it was something that sparked my interest. Again, I liked the compliments and then attention, but more than anything, I loved how turned on my husband got. That was what kept me moving forward even when I wasn't feeling good about what I was doing. My husband had never been more attentive and complimentary and turned on by me, and that was hot. We started exploring websites and apps geared toward the lifestyle. I always expressed that I would prefer exploring his together. I had only been with a few men before I met him, and I certainly didn't intend to start my sleeping around era after I was married with kids. But again, I let myself be convinced this was good for me and us and our sex life and would spice up our marriage. In the end, I ended up agreeing to explore things. I had several different experiences with several different men. Nothing was terrible and I got lucky that all of the men were respectful and I was safe. But every single time, I ended up in the bathroom crying because I felt ashamed of what I had done. On top of that, my husband wanted me to take pictures and film things throughout the experience, and every single time he would say I didn't do a good enough job or didn't get to right pictures or angles or a myriad of other things. By the time I got home and he had time to look over pictures and videos, he usually ended up changing his mind, and then I was praised and rewarded with love and affection. And then we would have incredible sex that was wild and uninhibited and amazing. But then that facade would start to wear off after time and he would push me to explore again. I hated that all the pressure and responsibility was on me. I had to chat with the men and vet them and flirt and keep them interested and send them sexy pics. Sometimes it was fun but it also became exhausting. I was trying to make these other men happy who didn't matter to me at all, on top of maintaining all the other normal relationships in my life and my marriage. At one point I met a guy who was involved in the lifestyle with his wife and I was excited that finally maybe my husband and I could explore things with another couple or of at least befriending another couple who had some experience navigating this delicate dynamic. We went out on a double date with them and it was fun and I thought we all hit it off, but my husband ending up having a superficial hang-up about the wife. Okay, no big deal. I would never push him to do something he didn't want to do or wasn't comfortable with. We went to a lifestyle club twice while on vacations and that was the most he ever participated. But he wouldn't approach anyone or put himself out there. I had to be the one to chat with other people and it never led anywhere. I think that's when I really started to feel resentful that although this was his kink, I was the only one actually taking part in it and also the only one incurring any risk and repercussions. I could be meeting up with a psycho? I could be put in a dangerous situation where I am not in control and cannot defend myself. Even though we were safe, I could catch an STD. My husband could end up changing his mind and resenting me, and I have no defense because he never did anything. I was the only one who had actually done something wrong. Then, this winter right around the holidays, there was a big blow-up within our extended family where someone was unfaithful and got caught. The way people, including myself, began to view this woman made me reflect a lot about how I was beginning to view myself and how I would literally want to die if anyone found out about what I had been doing. My husband assured me this was so different because he was the one who wanted this hot wife thing and we were in it together, but it began making me feel so much regret. I felt like a bad person and so ashamed that I had let things go this far when in the long run, my life, my marriage, my family, and my mental health and happiness are far more important than a fantasy. I ended up spilling my guts to my husband about how my feelings have changed about us participating in this. I told him this has been eating at me and my conscience. I told him I don't blame him at all or feel like he forced me into something. But I also said that I feel like I tried to convince myself I wanted to explore this because he never relented about pushing the fantasy and then it kept going further and further. Anyway, now he is saying that I have been lying to him for the past 2 years and he doesn't know who I am. His biggest concern is that our sex life will never be good again because he doesn't know if he can trust what I say I like and want in the bedroom. I have assured him, I like exploring almost anything with him but I am only interested in exploring with him from here on out. But he keeps saying now we are going to have normal sex and he will never get what he wants. I told him this doesn't have to ruin our sex life, but if that is his perspective and expectation going into trying to fix this, it's going to be hard to move forward. Then he told me it is my job to bend over backwards and show me that nothing will change and that I did nothing wrong. I'm not gonna act like I did something wrong and coddle you. You got us here. I don't know how to get out. You figure it out. So basically that's the state of my marriage right now and I feel hopeless.